Edmonton XL 92.5 FM.
Welcome you to a very special Thursday installment of the program. Thanks for being part of it, along with Hays Carlyon. We have Dylan back in the studio.
We do.
Double D's.
That's right.
Twin D, D squared.
Yep.
What to do?
JJ
What's
is
up, Dylan?
partying in Puerto Rico.
What about? I think maybe Costa Rica, but
Is it Costa Rica?
That's exactly right. Exactly right. Glad you're with us on the program. It's a very special Thursday edition of the program because for the first time, a lot of fans. Can't take him anywhere.
Is that Corey Grant over there? Yeah. Well, we got a fumble on a pitch.
I'll be right back.
I can't take this guy anywhere. But we're glad you're with us. It's the very first meeting of Liam Coen. Liam Coen.
He recovered his own fumble.
Coach Coen's first DUUUVAL is tonight. A huge pep rally. Going to be a terrific crowd. You can still come, by the way. Just go to Jaguars.com and buy your ticket, and that's it. And then you buy your ticket. Get your ticket. It's a free ticket. Get your free ticket at Jaguars.com and come meet Coach Coen. It's going to be fun. Frank Frangie, Hays Carlyon. Is this Ozier? John Ozier here.
Sure hands.
He's
back.
He's fumbling. He's stumbling. You know, he recovers his own fumble. How you doing, buddy?
At the top of the show, I think Hays essentially, because each name has two syllables.
Yeah.
Confused Costa Rica and Puerto Rico.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Again,
they sort of sound alike to Hays.
Yeah. Well, here, let me tell you.
And I'm kind of always confused anyway.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, technically he went to bowls, but
right.
You stay with me on this, John. Yeah, just technically only. So
technically.
How are you, buddy?
The
Good to see
spot
you.
was meant for a Carolyn Hays.
Yeah,
and somehow I got to go.
Exactly
I got you.
right. How you doing? All right.
Good. Back and ready to go.
There's some positivity in there. I mean,
sure.
I think there's real. What's been your impression? We've all interviewed Liam. I know you have. You're in the building, so you're around him more than we are. Early on impressions.
You like the energy. I liked the fact that he was emphasizing culture and knowing that had to get right throughout the building. I think if you talk to people around the building, with the changes coming forth, I think that's really the theme. I think he's locked into that. I think he knows it's important. I liked the genuineness. I got a couple emails saying, well, he's young, he's enthusiastic. I'm like, yeah. That's what he is. But I think what I liked best, Frank, was I didn't know. We're old men, Frank. I don't know if you know that.
I
did. Yes, you did. At 39, not having been a head coach, I wondered, will he be able to be in front of the room? Will he command these players' attention? Because the one thing you know about players, they can sniff out a fraud pretty quick.
Great point.
He comes across to me the other day. I don't worry about him connecting the players. And I think that's the biggest thing I always wonder about any head coach. How are these guys going to react to him once he's off the podium, once he's around them? I don't know if I'm right, but it sure seems like he'll be able to do that very, very well.
And it seems like for an offensive guy, toughness and physicality is a big priority with him, which you don't often – I mean, everybody talks about it to some degree, but I don't know if they talk about it to the way Liam did the other day, saying we're going to play to the echo of the whistle.
Yeah.
And when our offensive – when we break the offensive huddle, the first thing the defense sees is our line, and that's got to mean something, and it will mean something.
Yeah, I think it seems like he realizes or believes, much like it feels like the Lions do, the Eagles do, right now it's trending back in the NFL to where you better be able to run. And sometimes with the previous staff, who I love, Press Taylor and Doug Peterson, I hope I'll be close with them forever. But sometimes when they talked about offense, they talked about, this scheme's going to show us this, so we're going to do this and not play into their strength. It feels like a Coen's more about, we're going to do what we need to do, and we've got to be able to run to make all this work. I think it's a subtle difference. I made it seem like it was a big, big deal. I don't know if it's the major thing, but I think it's in there that Liam Coen knows you've got to be able to run. And I think a lot of the creativity that fans want will come back if you can dictate running the ball.
We are in the West Club here. You see all the pictures behind us. That's the graphic today. It's going to be Coach Coen's first Duval. It's a pep rally where you get to meet the coach, which is really cool. 40% off concessions, discounts on all the gear here too. They're already setting it up in here, so it's going to be a great setup. So we hope you'll come in and take part with us. John, the other thing too, I think, and I really do believe this. Sometimes you need a reset, and I know everyone said fire Trent Baalke. Apart from people that were angry with the GM for a long time, when you do have everything new, you have an opportunity for a reset. I sense that's happening. Do you sense and I don't even know everything that means, but do you sense that a little?
Yeah, and I think that's what, again, I thought the people here who were here before were all very capable football people. As I've gone on and covered the league more and been around it, belief and collective belief, be it players, be it everybody, matters a great deal to make it work. When they lost as much as they did in the last year and a half, I think it's only natural that the collective belief, and I think in today's social media age, that when fans stop believing it, I think that can sort of spill over to players. Somehow the belief that had been there in early 23, all of 22, wasn't there anymore. And I know, Frank, you and I had talked about it, not on the air, but I kept saying, I wonder how they get it back.
Yeah.
I wonder if they can get it back once it goes away. I don't think it means that the last regime were bad coaches or bad personnel people, but I don't know that there was going to be a belief in it. And I certainly think that's the time for the reset. You can believe this. You can sell it now.
In your reporting and talking to Bucks media and national people, has anything stood out to you about anything you've learned about Liam, whether it's as a coach or, a story that stood out to you, anything like that?
Overall, I think the impression is, even people I was talking to sort of on the side, players love him. Players believe in him, which, again, as I go on, Frank, I just believe more and more. The guys believing in you, it almost doesn't matter if you're right or not. Do they believe you and follow you? Players will respond to this guy. Very smart guy, very good guy. I haven't heard anything that makes me come off of that. So I don't necessarily have any stories per se, except that, it feels like it's going to be a young staff. He's a young guy. And I think what I said at the top of the show is what resonates the most. It feels like he's going. Coaches have to lead in whatever way they can lead, whatever fits their personality. Feels like he's going to have the personality to lead and get these guys believing. I've heard nothing to make me think that's not the case.
John, what's your gut on timetable for the rest? Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, general manager. It seems as though, and all I know is what the digital folks, you guys have done a great job of tracking it.
Thank you. I'll take a lot of credit.
You get all the credit, but it seems though coordinators first.
Yep.
If there's a hunt for a general manager, it doesn't seem as pressing to me. Is that how you see it? That we're going to see a defensive coordinator, an offensive coordinator, a little bit of a staff. That's kind of next in line.
Yeah, I think the two coordinators could happen. Anytime.
Because they've interviewed a bunch.
They've interviewed them. They've gotten the interviews they want to get out of the way. If Liam Coen's involved, it was obviously he's involved. It feels like he's going to be involved in both. But if you're a coach, guess where your comfort level is? Well, I've got my guys as coaches who I want. The GM may be a little more conversation of, okay, here are my guys, here are your guys. He may need more help, a collaborative effort for the GM part than he would the coach's part. So get the coaches done and out of the way. And I don't know that there's a incredible hurry on the GM, because I feel like if it's, Ethan Waugh can handle the structure of that, the day-to-day of that, until it's either him permanently or somebody else. That can get done at much less of a time crunch. And I don't think there's as much you got to get your coordinators in place now because all these guys want to know where they're going to be.
Right. That's
the GM's a little more, you can take your time with that and get it right.
And Shad said during his presser when they announced Liam Hays that he does think it'll be done by the end of February. That's the NFL rule for people that haven't followed it. I just learned it, by the way. I didn't know the rule. But the rule is that you have to have your GM in place by the end of February, or you can't hire one till after the draft. So that's a rule, which is an interesting rule. So Shad kind of gave the impression that that's going to be done within the month.
Yeah, it sounds like he wants to hire a permanent guy.
Yeah.
Be it Ethan or somebody else.
And that doesn't mean it won't be Ethan, but whoever it is, it'll be in place by then.
Right, but you can also take the other approach of, you know what, we're going to go with our planning that we've all done. If there's an EVP, if there's something like that, and the head coach, they can monitor that and dictate that, and then make your wholesale GM change after the draft. That wouldn't be absurd either. I don't know which way they'll go.
From a roster standpoint, what concerns you the most?
Probably secondary, and then I would like to see. I'm just gonna be curious. I don't know if it's a concern. I want to find out more about how Liam Coen's going to feel about the offensive line.
Yeah,
I think the concern is you want to get it better, you want to get it more physical, you want to get it more dominant, and yet it sort of feels like 4 of the 5 pieces are still going to be in place. So how do you get to where you want to go, considering the contractual issues there? I mean, you can't do it. It means I think that's going to be the first thing they try to figure out. What does that puzzle look like? I'd also like to see if, at wide receiver, one more impact guy. What is that going to look like? And obviously defensive interior.
Yeah. I think to that question, John, they need another cornerback. They need another receiver. We all know that. But I think those two interiors are first and second for me in whatever order. Defensive tackle in the interior of the offensive line. You made a great point. How do you make your offensive line better if logic says you're going to have a lot of the same guys? I hear you, but I think that's the question, right?
Yeah, because you can sit here and say all you want, but then when you really parse through it, you're probably looking at Walker Little, Mitch Morse, Ezra Cleveland, and
Anton
are under contract, and they're quality NFL starters.
Right.
But that hasn't translated to being dominant. So how do you get that group dominant, or what changes can you make? I don't know that they know the answer yet, because I don't know that the decision makers are there yet in terms of really digging down on that.
How good do you think Liam will be for Trevor?
I don't know. I mean, I think the relationship will be good. I think the effort will be there. Is he a quarterback guru? I don't know, but I think the focus, I think the energy that we saw the other day will be fine. I think the big thing is if he can get the offense going, if he can get the running game going, if he can get that as a staple, then I think Trevor gets better automatically. But I think the quarterback coach and the coordinator who will work more closely with Trevor will be key hires.
Any of all the ones that we've seen online have interviewed, any you like better than others?
In terms of offense?
Either of the coordinators.
Not really. I mean, they all sort of fit a pattern to me, except for Patrick Graham. They're all young. They're all going to be, I like Campanile. I mean, Campanile. I liked his resume when I saw what he brings, but they all sort of seem out of the same cloth, and I think that's going to be interesting on the staff, because I think it's going to be a younger, dynamic staff than we've seen at the coordinator positions before.
How about you? Do you have any of the ones we've seen?
No, I trust.
We don't know them.
I don't,
and that's an honest answer. We don't know.
And I trust Liam Coen.
Yeah,
I mean, he'll have my full confidence until he shows that it's a struggle for him. But I mean, I love everything he's done, starting with 10 days ago. I mean, I think everything Liam Coen has done has shown me he is ready to lead this organization at a very high level.
Yeah, it's funny, John. You made a good point. I want to think: is it Patrick Graham, or do I want Campanile, or do I want Aubrey Pleasant, and then do I want Shieldhouse on offense, or do I want Tafika? We don't know,
right?
Yeah, I mean, it's different than a head coach that you've watched them work. You know what I mean? You've watched how they're on TV. assistant coaches aren't visible.
They're going to have, generally speaking, they're going to have come from situations where they've had good stats.
Yeah.
Because that's usually what gets you the hot guy role. But if you look at their history, they've sort of gone up and down with stats, and now they're the hot guy. It'll be, can you get in front of a room, which most of the guys that are in consideration haven't really been in that situation yet. So that'll be a little bit of a learning process. But you have to trust that Liam Coen is talking to the right people and hearing the right things. He's got his network of guys, and his network of guys are telling him, these are the guys that I like, that I've been around. If you're hiring that way, you've at least got a chance, as opposed to just going off the interview.
Final thing. This will be neat tonight, John. I think that part of that positive momentum and reset, because I think it is a reset, is 2 days later the coach is going to sit here and cut up on the stage with with thousands of fans. It's thousands of fans already that have signed up for this thing. That's kind of a cool thing.
His Duval will be being watched.
Yes, it will.
It's
Yes,
gotten
it
some
will.
feedback, and it's gotten some.
Yes, it has.
And
I would anticipate a lot of bass out of Liam Coen tonight.
Right. So, but isn't that fun? I mean, if a just okay Duval on the first day is his worst crime.
Yeah, that's exactly right. John Ogier from Jaguars.com. Johnny, thanks.
All right, guys. Thank you.
We'll take a break. More in a moment. We're live here at the stadium. We're in the West Club getting you ready for Coach Coen's first Duval, a pep rally that's going to be so much fun tonight. Back after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Living life on the edge of your seat.
Are you kidding me?
Your front row seat for play-by-play.
Break it free, they're not going to catch you.
1010XL.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren here from Helmets and Heels. When it's time for new tires, look no further than Big Chief Tire. Their experts will help you quickly find the right fit, ensuring a safe and comfortable ride. With quality options, fair prices, and quick installation, you'll be back on the road in no time. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your appointment and roll into 2025 with even greater confidence, guaranteed. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make, and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is, and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
Hey gang, Prosser here. If you think you have problems related to the need to sell your home, we have solutions. And by we, I don't mean me. I mean ChadandSandy.com. That's Chad, A-N-D, Sandy.com. Call them today at 904-414-6200. Look, the problems could fall into a variety of areas. Maybe you want guaranteed no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Maybe you need more space with a growing family. Doesn't matter what the problems are. You go to Chad and Sandy. Those problems are fixed. With all the recent talk about interest rates and economic uncertainty, you may be wondering if now is the right time to sell your home. Will you get the price you need? What about repairs or showings? The good news, you don't have to figure it out by yourself. You call my agents, Chad and Sandy Newman. They will deliver. Your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required cost of repairs. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts. The success stories are rolling in from all over town. Find out for yourself. Call Chad and Sandy today. That's Chad, A-N-D, Sandy.com.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise and towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Find out why soccer is the most popular game in the world and spreading fast on the First Coast.
On the Sporty Jack Soccer Hour.
Join Cole Pepper, Mauricio Ruiz, and Becky Burley as they discuss the latest in the world of soccer.
Tuesday nights at 6
on 1010 a.m.
Start your new year off healthy. Get screened at Ackerman Urology for common cancers of the prostate, bladder, and kidney. Early detection is key with 5 locations across Northeast Florida. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it, and now we're set for the final stretch on the road to New Orleans. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, just straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back, and if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step up, use our promo code 1010XL, and that'll double your bankroll with a 50% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The big game prop bets are going to be plentiful, so take a hard look at player props and the wacky big game props you see each year from MyBookie. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays, so why wait? There's a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. Sign up now and get your 50% bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. The road to New Orleans is here for the big game. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Ammon, you're always talking about how clean air is healthy air. I've had this cold for weeks. Can cleaning my air ducts actually help?
Well, Dad, I'm not a doctor, and let's be honest, you probably caught that cold from one of your grandkids. But I can tell you this, the cleaner your air, the better you'll feel.
Makes sense, but what do air ducts have to do with it?
Your ducts are like the lungs of your home. If they're full of dust, allergens, and who knows what else, all that junk gets blown into the air you breathe, especially now that the heat's running. And the EPA says improving indoor air quality can reduce health risk.
So you're telling me my vents are working harder than my immune system?
Exactly. That's why Zero Res is here. We're NADCA certified, and our truck mount system is the most powerful in the industry. Right now, we're even offering $100 off your total for January.
All right, sign me up. If it makes me feel better and keeps your mom off my back, I'm all in.
Good call, Dad.
Zero Res.
Spelled border backwards. It's the right way to clean.
CEROREC. Zero Res.
Transform your bathroom with stunning shower glass from Sky Glass Solutions in Jacksonville Beach. For a free quote, call 904-608-5151 or visit skyglasssolutions.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
Hey, welcome back to the program. Glad you are with us. Frank Frangie, Hays Carlyon with you. Thanks to John Oacher for stopping by. JP Shadrick at the top of the hour. JP is hosting tonight. He'll be running that thing, and we look forward to seeing him. He comes by at 5 o'clock tonight, and we'll talk a little Jaguars football with him. Frangie and Carlyon with you. Dylan Denmark back at World Headquarters making it all happen. Obviously, JJ gone at Costa Rica for a couple of days for a bachelor party. You see JJ at a bachelor party. Imagine bachelor parties are great anyway. But you imagine a bachelor party plus JJ.
Yeah, there's some brain cells getting killed in Costa Rica right now.
Absolutely.
As they should be.
No question. Let's set the scene for you. You can do it and remind you one more time. We are live here. If you're watching on stream, we're here in the West Club with all the signs behind us, the Liam Coen signs here on all the monitors. Tonight is Coach Coen's first DUUUVAL. What it is, it's a pep rally. The D-line will be here. The Roar will be here. And Liam and Tony Baselli will be here. And up there on the screen talking Jaguars football. It's just gonna be a fun night. Just a fun night to be a Jaguar, a fun night to be a Jaguar fan. I'll tell you this, you got to register. Apparently, good crowd. I mean, they already have a bunch of registrations here, so that's a good 40% off the concessions, which is really good. Discounts at the pro shop too for your gear. So just a fun night. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful night. You're going to meet the coach. So we do hope you'll come on out here. And we're again at 1010XL. We're proud to be kind of part of that and a good partner to the Jaguars. And we love to be part of all this. And we appreciate them letting us come down here and be part of it. Unpack a little bit what Johnny told us. Positivity. You agree with me on the whole reset thing? It feels like a reset, a necessary reset.
Without a doubt.
That's my take. Just knowing that's when a general manager is gone, and when a coach is gone, and you bring in a new coach and you bring in a new general manager, it's natural that you have a bit of a reset, right? And I think you can sense that a little bit just hearing him talk.
Yeah, if it was Liam Coen with Trent Baalke still in place as general manager, the perception would be that Liam Coen is Trent Baalke's puppet.
Right.
That's just
right.
because Liam Coen just didn't have a lot of other offers out there. I mean, this was sort of it for him. He didn't really have any other interviews. And so initially the perception was, well, Baalke has picked him because he is somebody that will not have leverage and therefore will not, like maybe a Ben Johnson might have been able to do, get rid of me. And then I think as they met with Liam Coen and Shad got dazzled, then there was trouble. And then when Liam had, the foresight and the strength to say, look, I love what you guys are offering, but the alignment's not right for me. I think it worked out magnificently. So yes, I agree. Total reset. I think excitement, enthusiasm is back in a massive way. Would not have been that way at all if it was Trent Baalke introducing Liam Coen on Monday.
And I'll be interested to see too, if indeed there's an EVP, and if it's our friend Tony Baselli. If you didn't hear it during the press conference to announce Liam Coen, Shad Khan was asked that question, and he said there'll be a position. We want to make sure we're doing it right within the rules of the NFL. He didn't get into details, and so I've said all along. I think Tony Baselli should be atop the football food chain here. I've said that from day one. I've never wavered from that. I don't know if it's going to happen. It seems to be headed that way. Nobody really knows, and the team wisely has not talked about that till they make sure they're doing it properly, which is smart, by the way, which is smart. So I hope it happens. I've said all along, I hope it happens, and I think Tony running this thing would be I say running this thing, Tony in a managerial capacity, whatever that means. I have no idea who's going to report to whom, but Tony's presence, I think, would be very positive. I really do.
I would think that would be a decision that Shad Khan would make fairly soon here, because you're going to eventually pursue a GM. Well, the GM that's coming in, any prospect that you're interviewing, it's already kind of unique in that you've already hired your head coach. So I think you're going to need to be able to provide your general manager candidates with very much a vivid picture of what Tony Baselli's role is. Is he making draft picks, or is he basically an advisor to the owner? Those are two wildly different things.
Yeah.
Like executive vice president of football operations, if he's in charge of spending and which free agents are coming and going and things like that, then if you're a general manager candidate coming in, then it's like, okay, well, you have to think about that. Yes, I have the title of general manager,
right,
but you've got a head coach in Liam Coen that ownership is obviously going to give a lot of leeway to in terms of decision-making power, and you could have an EVP as well. So I think that's got to be ironed out first, and it's probably why you're not seeing a lot of traction on the general manager search yet, because Shad needs to go ahead and make his decision on what is Tony Baselli going to be. Like he said, he knows it's a role. It's just if it's an advisory position, then he can hire him today. If it's executive EVP of football ops where there's decision making involved, then you do have to go through the NFL, the league mandated hiring process, which would obviously involve multiple candidates being interviewed for that position before a hire could be made.
I got you. Yeah, and to that end, I'm glad you said all that. I don't know. As I sit here, I don't know whether or not that's if they even know where they are on that. My guess would be, if indeed there's something that's going to involve Tony, Shad and Tony have had those conversations. So it'll be interesting. But anyway, I hope somehow that's where they land. I think Tony Baselli, you know how I feel about Tony. I think he's a really sharp guy, and I do, and I think he'll, apart from being a buddy and we all know him well, and he's on our radio station. His business acumen is exceptional. His passion is exceptional. His football knowledge. I think he's a good leader. I think he's learned that by building a company where he's got to lead a bunch of folks. And so anyway, we hope it happens. I think it's probably going to wind up happening. We will certainly see. And I am excited about the coordinator hires. I think that's I think that's going to be fun. GM isn't as fun. They're going to hire a GM too. But I think coordinator's fun. I think getting the right coordinator in here, and I don't. Offensively, you kind of know what they are. All you have to do is go back and watch Tampa Bay tape. So I mean that's go watch Tampa Bay games. You got to believe it's not going to differ much from that. But defensively, you don't know. I will tell you this: they've been drastically different defensively in different years. Here's what we know about last year: it didn't work. Here's what I will tell you, and I thought last year would work with those guys having their hands on the ground. So we all thought it was going to work. The reality is it didn't work. And so, I mean, it didn't work. So clearly, yeah, I think I'm very intrigued. I think the first questions after the coordinators are hired is to the defensive coordinator, what are you going to do? Well, are you a 3-4? Are you a 4-3? Are you a lot of cover 2 or Tampa 2? Do you play a lot of man? I mean, well, that'll be because we have no idea where that's going to land.
None at all. And it's to be honest, I thought it sunk the Doug Peterson era way more than the play calling did.
100%.
That was such a big storyline, and rightfully so. But it was stunning to me how Doug Peterson was 0 for 3 basically in the Jaguar defense that we're here. Now, obviously, the first year they win the division, they win a playoff game, but basically for Doug Peterson to have such trouble, hiring the right defensive mind. And having it regress throughout his tenure was really striking. I think with Liam Coen, and this is kind of why I don't really have a strong opinion on who he picks for defensive coordinator, because I think the Jaguars have sort of done something that I think is really smart. And it kind of went against what I was saying last week, but in hindsight, I think it's got a really high – it's risky, but I think it's got a supreme high-end potential. And I think the Jaguars have recognized kind of what we were saying in the season, that the offense seemed a little stagnant. And you watch these other games, you watch these other clubs with younger and offensive minds, and it just seems like it's easier for them. It's easier for them to get around the field, create explosive plays. You had Shad in his press conference with Balky postseason saying, he wanted to find deception. I almost think that there's a schism right now in the NFL in terms of old school and new school. And it's almost, I don't know that we've ever seen it this separated. It's always felt like 1 through 32, they kind of do the same things for the most part, might be an outlier here and there. Whereas now it feels like there's like half the league that's run by young, innovative offensive minds, and then there's half the league that's more in the 2000s-ish offensive football era, and they're kind of trying to make that work still, and it just feels like the game has evolved. And in part of that evolution is bringing the running game back in. So it's almost like Shad Khan was like, I want Liam Coen because that's where the game is going, modern football. And then the converse of that, the product of that, is that Liam Coen is now, he is hiring young minds on both sides of the ball that fit into that. Not just offensive minds that think the way he thinks, but defensive minds that have come up trying to figure out, okay, how do I stop the Shanahans and McDaniels and McVays, and not so much, the old school offensive thinking.
Yeah, I never completely bought, and I'm in the minority, and you and I differ on this. Heck, I differ on most people. I never bought that offensive play calling was that big a hindrance. I know everybody else thinks so, and maybe I'm wrong. I never thought offensive play calling. Obviously, there was 26 in the league. Yeah. They weren't getting it right.
It was probably the scheme more than play calling.
And maybe that's right. But I never thought that was as big an issue. The defense was a disaster.
Absolutely.
And it was an unmitigated, and how we were all so wrong about that, because we all thought it was going to be good, and I thought I think the main reason Doug Peterson doesn't have his job is because of the defense. I can't tell you, by the way, and this isn't on Twitter. This didn't show up on X. This is just people I bump into. I've bumped into a lot of people. I say last time I was not true, but I've a handful of people over the last 2 weeks who said, man, I wish Doug Peterson. I like Peterson. I wish Peterson hadn't got fired. Now, that's not the Twitter belief, and the X belief is everybody wanted him fired. And there may be more that did that didn't. But the point I'm making is I love Gus Bradley. He's one of my favorite people in the world. Doug Marrone certainly had one really special year here. Urban certainly didn't go very well here, but he's been a good college coach. But I didn't have anybody come up to me after those three and say, "Gosh, I wish they hadn't gotten fired." I didn't have that. I had that with Doug. Doug's the one, because again, they're not the people on X, because people on X want everybody fired, and that's not a Jaguar thing. That could be the Vikings, the Chiefs, the Seahawks, the Rams. Everybody on social media.
I mean, there were Bills fans on Twitter wanting to fire Sean McDermott.
Correct, right. Everybody, social media, everybody wants everybody fired.
Probably an inch away from perhaps knocking the Chiefs out.
Yeah, right. Everybody on social media wants everybody fired. That's just, and again, that's not a Jaguar thing. That's social media. But the point is, Doug Peterson wasn't that fine. You made a really interesting point that I hadn't thought about. You wonder if Trent Baalke had gone into Shad's office and said, "Listen, keep us together. Give us one more crack at this together. We had 2 winning seasons. You almost wonder if nothing would have happened." You've made that point.
I think there's a high probability that Shad Khan would have bought the argument had they been aligned.
Right. That's right. But now that we've moved beyond that, the energy, the reset, I love that there's a new energy and it feels like a reset. I love the way it feels. I love the feel. Now listen, it always feels good when you have a new coach. I get that. This isn't new. I promise you, the Jets are excited about Aaron Glenn.
Right.
The Raiders are excited about Pete Carroll, and on and on.
The Saints will be excited when they make their hire in July.
If they make a hire. So, but there's always that. But I love the way it feels. Again, I'm a positive guy. I'm a glasses half full anyway guy, but I love the way this thing feels. Hey, we're glad to be down here, by the way, on a Stanley Pools Thursday. Thanks to my friends Greg Stanley and all the folks at Stanley Pools, the pool builder in Jacksonville. That's all I have to tell you. You know, if you're building a pool in Jacksonville, and if you call the Stanleys, you've gotten it right. You know you've gotten it right because they're the pool builders in Jacksonville. Thanks to my friends for Stanley Pools. My friends at Stanley Pools for always making this a Stanley Pools Thursday. We're live at the stadium. Tonight is Coach Coen's first DUUUVAL. Go on Jaguars.com, sign up. Great crowd already is on its way down here. Tony Baselli will be part of it. JP Shadrick will MC it. He's going to join us in about 20 minutes to really kind of set the scene for what we're going to see today. But it's a special day to honor the Jaguars, and let's get this thing started. Very excited about that. Frangie and Carlyon with you back after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Billy Currington and Kip Moore live in concert. Friday, June 27th, St. Augustine Amphitheater. Billy Currington, Kip Moore with Jade Eagleson. Tickets on sale Friday, 10 a.m. at AXS.com. Don't miss Billy and Kip live.
It's a winter wonderland of big wins at Best Bet Jacksonville with our Winter Open Poker Tournament taking place now through February 2nd. Don't miss the action. Join us for your share of the ice-cold cash. With 8 series events and $500,000 in guarantees, the action is on, with satellites taking place daily into the championship main event. Visit bestbetjacks.com for more details, and we'll see you at the Winter Open. That's bestbetjacks.com.
D1 Training East Jacksonville invites you to their mega NFL football camp at the Bowl School February 1st from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Ages 7 through 16. Get hands-on coaching from former NFL players at every single station. The coaches lineup put together by Connor and Sam at D1 is proudly sponsored by Tim Tebow. To sign up, call 904-901-6470.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it and send them a Coen floral arrangement. RJ here with 1010XL, and you'll be assured of a quality delivery. That's for sure. Log on and order online at CoenFlowers.com.
One of the best things about being on the First Coast is standing at the center of the golf world.
Yes, it is.
Brunch with a Tour.
Tour news, tips, and inside info brought to you by
Clearwater Irrigation, 8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
The big game is almost here, and Sonny's Barbecue wants you to win a barbecue feast. Text Sonny's to the text line brought to you by Lifetime Flooring at 641-1010 for your chance to win. 641-1010.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my success with back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Happy New Year from everyone at Nimnick Buick GMC. And as we begin 2025, Nimnick is excited to offer even more choices and better prices for you, ensuring your car buying experience is second to none. If you're wondering where to go for a better buying experience, it's simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Here's to another year of driving forward together. Looking for a better used car shopping experience? Well, you'll find it at Nimnick Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. Now with Car Bravo at Nimnick, you'll get transparent pricing, the best value on your trade, and peace of mind. Now is the best time to shop certified used vehicles and buy with confidence. And man, you get all the makes and models: Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford. That's right, all makes, all models. Trading in your old vehicle? Don't forget who gives you top dollar for your trade. Nobody but Nimnick. So shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. No matter the weather, Triumph has an unbelievable selection of rides where you can get out and just enjoy the highway.
They do. The new Rocket is out with the new color schemes, the Tiger 1200, which has been revamped. These bikes are nice, gorgeous, and ready to ride.
And if you want to take a look at the selection, they can just roll into the showroom and see a full variety.
We've got them all in stock and ready to go.
So if you log on, cyclesofjacksonville.com, search the Triumph line, and then head into the showroom, you'll be impressed. Cycles of Jacksonville.
Cannonball! Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage, too.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
They're setting up here at the West Club. They have those concessions ready to go. Carlyon was trying to slip over there to the Crown Royal bar. Right. I had to stop him.
Yeah, put me down for a triple.
Will indeed. And by the way, there's America's Original Craft Vodka. I had to stop him from that too.
Yeah.
And this is your great place for you, by the way.
Oh, it's a phenomenal place for me. I've had many good times in this room.
We are in the West Club, but the happenings are going to be right on the field. The stage is set up. I took a picture of it earlier, and so did the rest of us. You'll see it on our 1010XL feed as well. The stage is set up just outside or just on the field, looking right up at the seats in the West Club. So you'll be in the stadium. Again, lots of people coming already. Thousands of people have already signed up for this thing, and then some. Jaguars.
But it's not too late.
No. In fact, it's not. Listen, they want everybody that wants to come to get here.
Yeah.
So get here and sign up. You got to sign up.
Yeah.
Jaguars.com. Get a ticket. The ticket's free. But come in and you'll be glad you did. It's going to be it really is going to be an awful lot of fun. You'll see our 10XL van down there. We got Joski's giving away. We're proud to be kind of part of this thing. So come on by and celebrate. JP Shadrick joins us in about 20 minutes. He'll be here at the top of the hour talking about what tonight's going to be like. And the whole bit. He'll be emceeing, and he does a fantastic job with stuff like that. Some pieces of news. I know you hit some of these in headlines. Are you surprised that Micah Handlogton now is probably not going to play?
A little bit, just because I'm surprised he got so close to playing and had so much season left, and then decided, I'm not going to do it. It almost strikes me as I wonder if in a couple of weeks, does he go back and decide, hey, I'm ready to compete? Again, it's entirely up to Micah. I mean, he's the one that suffered the gruesome leg injury. He's got to be able to trust it. And obviously that's not there yet. And if he needs another 8 months to feel comfortable with it and play, wait until November to get back on the game floor, then, that should be entirely up to him. So I think Todd Golden's handled it really well. But it does make me wonder. I mean, again, Florida is, as we sit here today, the 5th-ranked team in the country.
Right.
They can absolutely win the whole thing. And so, how much does that continue to weigh on him when you still have, they haven't even gotten halfway through conference play yet, and he's ready physically. So it's just him having the confidence to trust it. It makes me, maybe I'm putting maybe too much of a football spin on this. You almost wish there was this Wednesday night game against Charleston Southern.
Right.
Where you could test it.
Yeah.
And these games in the SEC are so fierce, and there really is not a easy pass on any of these things. So I almost wonder, too, if that factors in. The guys that he's going to be going against are not only great SEC players, but they're primed. They've been playing ball for months, and for him and he's not exactly a graceful athlete anyway.
Right.
So it does make me wonder a little bit about maybe just starting fresh next season. But it's got to be tempting if you're cleared, and to watch a team from the bench go and compete for a national title when you're good enough to be a guy playing 15 minutes. That would be tough, but it's all up to Micah.
My take now is you're not going to see him. I think the way this thing played out is you weren't supposed to see him. He was going to redshirt for the whole year. But the rehab went quicker than you thought. And because of that, he got excited. They let him practice. He practiced full go. He practiced very well. All the while, Sam Alexis started to look a little bit more overmatched, particularly against these SEC teams. And I think Todd Golden looked up and said, look, to your point a minute ago, they may have a national championship team. You might want to have all hands on deck if you're going to be this close to being really good. I got a 7-1 guy who's a really good player, great rebounder, defender, or very good. Great's a great too strong a word, but good at that. I could add him to the fray. We get better. He could make us better. Mike, are you interested? And Micah gets excited, and I think Micah got excited. And then I think somewhere along the line, the Friday night before the Georgia games when all this happened, I think Micah somewhere along the line, whether he got advice, and I don't think preserving the red shirt had anything to do with it. Nobody cares about a red shirt anymore. You can play as long as you want. Doesn't it feel that way? So I don't. He's only a junior eligibility wise anyway. Even if he comes back, he's still got another year and probably can get a medical year after that. So I don't think this had anything to do with in my opinion, preserving the red shirt. I think he felt like he wasn't ready. Where these emotionally, because it was such a brutal injury and such an emotional injury, whether he feels like it was the emotion of it, whether he feels like he doesn't have the stamina. And I think at that point, Todd Golden probably said, we totally understand. We support you. Totally. We support whatever you decide. But we need you to decide.
Yeah.
I think he probably said, what we can't do, it's not fair to Sam, whose minutes Sam Alexis' minutes would probably go away. If you had Micah Handlogton back, wouldn't you agree with that? So Sam Alexis, his numbers probably his minutes go away.
Right.
It's not fair to him. It's not fair to the team to keep wondering and wondering.
Correct.
So if you're healthy, kind of let us know.
Yeah.
And I think Micah said, Coach, I'm just not sure. And I think that's where they landed.
And I do think that's where it will stay now. The only thing I would say in terms of Micah and maybe reconsidering this, Florida is not going to be what they are next year, like what they are this year. You're losing Clayton and Martin and Richard and probably Condon to the draft. So I'm not saying Florida can't be good next year, but the odds that they're going to be this is low.
You think Conan's going to be out?
I think he could be.
Yeah.
And so, and you're losing the 3 guards.
Right.
So now Aberdeen, I think, can be a good starter.
But you're losing the 3 guards.
But that's the thing. Like, I mean, I'm not saying Todd Golden couldn't strike gold in the portal, but that's what it's going to take for Florida to remain one of the top 5 teams in the country next year. So, again, I would look at it if I was Mike Hanlon and say, look, I mean, if this team wins the national title, where do you want to be in that picture? Do you want to be a guy close to the trophy in your game jersey where it's obvious that you've been sweating and playing? Or do you want to be a guy wearing a sweatshirt, standing off to the side, happy, but, not a on-court contributor to the team? Again, and this all depends on if Mike is planning on staying at Florida, which I have to assume he is.
I would too.
So if he's planning on staying at Florida, I would say, look, I know you don't want to peek ahead, but this might be your only chance to really win a national championship. I just don't see Florida next. Florida, I think, will be good, but I don't think they'll be amazing next year.
And my guess is everything you just said did go into play, which is probably what got him close to playing. I think he's investigated everything you just said. Is this really the year I want to miss? The team probably said the same thing. But my gut is, after all that discussing, they landed on not this year. So it could change, but I think that's where it landed. By the way, I don't think Condon's out after this year. You do.
I have no idea.
I got it.
I honestly, I can barely tell you how many teams are in the NBA anymore. But
same.
So I don't know.
I hear you.
But I see
he's a good player.
Why the NBA would be excited about him. But he might need another year.
But your point is, he's probably the best NBA player on their team. I think he is. I think Clayton could get maybe a 2-way contract, but he's certainly not a first rounder. I don't think Richard or Martin ever play in the league. Houck maybe, but Chignolo doesn't have enough of an offensive game, I don't think. So, but I will say this, and this is a conversation for 3 months from now, not now. This is a conversation for after the Final Four. But assuming Condon goes back and I think gets paid, he could be the kind of player he can be next year.
Sure.
And the kind of prospect he would then become. I mean, Janai Broome came back because as good as he is, he was still not that high on draft boards. I bet he will be this year. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to see how the way it plays out. So we'll see. All right,
what do you think? Do you think Florida exceptional next year or probably drops back to more like good?
I think better than good. Better than good. I think long as the Golden stuff gets worked out and he's happy and he gets his extension.
Golden is. Yeah.
I think Aberdeen is going to be a very good starting guard. Again, you know me. I go online and watch all these highlights of guys. The two freshmen they're bringing in, Alex Lloyd, a 6'3" shooter, and Cornelius Ingram's son, 6'6" small forward, are really good players. Like really good. Like it'll be like almost like Mike White signing Trey Mann and Scotty Lewis in the same year. Now, Scotty Lewis didn't pan out, but when they got them both in the same year, it was like, whoa. Mm-hmm. I think this is very similar to that. They're both the same size as those two guys were. Alex Lloyd can really score. Really score. And so Aberdeen's back. If nobody leaves, if you have Aberdeen, if you have Lloyd and Ingram, these two really good freshmen, 163, 166, and if you have Condon, Houck, Chignolo, Hanlockton, Alexis if you want him, yeah, I think that might be a pretty good team. I know. Look, your point's a good one. You're replacing 3 really good guards, really good senior veteran guards. But yeah, I like what I think.
And it will be easier for him in the portal because Florida has been elite all season.
Yeah, get one veteran guard.
Todd Golden. Yeah. I mean, he's more of a star now when he walks into a kid's gymnasium than he would have been a year ago.
If everybody comes back, other than the 3 guards, and he gets, I think there'll be a top 15 team to start next season, so we'll see. We'll take a break. When we come back, our friend JP Shadrick's going to stop by. He will be emceeing the Coach Coen's first Duval. I see JP making his way here. Look at
Shadrick sighting.
You know what? That's talent's what that is. Yeah. Talent's making its way over here. JP Shadrick joins us after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Hi, I'm Mike Detke.
I'm Jeremy Mincy. I'm Amani Toomer.
You're listening to 1010XL.
1010XL. 1010XL.
92.5 FM.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie. If you have a sweet tooth like me, the sweetest desserts in town come from Spoonful Bakery. Spoonful is an online bakery. They deliver boxes of assorted desserts right to your home or office. They're so good, and they make for great gifts for friends or clients. And if you want custom orders, wedding cakes or birthday cakes, or catered desserts for an event, they are the best. Log on to spoonful-bakery.com or call them at 904-515-4984. That's Spoonful Bakery for the sweetest desserts in town.
Mia here. It's the Everything's on sale going on now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Get $0 down and just $288 per month for a pre-owned 2022 Toyota Corolla. Or you choose a pre-owned 2021 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for $0 down and only $388 per month. Or how about no payments till July 2025? And you get 60 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Shop the Everything's on sale at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard at arlingtontoyota.com.
Tired of a plain and boring backyard? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop choice to beautify your home. With pavers, stonework, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, pergolas, and driveways. Visit stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Integrity, persistence, and standing up for victims. It's what you want in a personal injury case and what my friend and lawyer Glenn Coen brings to every case for over 40 years. Call Glenn at Barnes & Coen.
New Orleans, a spectacle in the Superdome. 4 quarters in the French Quarter.
60 minutes of football.
60 minutes. Our best, here we go. 1010XL's coverage of football's favorite day.
This is about us.
Is viewed through Window World of Northeast Florida.
Huddle up this season at Hurricane Grill and Wings, where every day is game day. Serving up the flavors you crave, from refreshing new cocktails to famous wings. Always better with Pepsi. Find 6 Jacksonville locations at hurricanewings.com.
Listen up, Ospreys. UNF Homecoming Week is just around the corner. You don't want to miss the festivities, especially the Birds of Trade, as the UNF men's basketball team hosts Bellarmine Thursday, February 6th, and FGCU Saturday, February 8th at UNF Arena, tipping off at 5. Show off your pride and reconnect with your alma mater. Thursday, February 6th at 8, and Saturday, February 8th at 5. Visit UNFOspreys.com/buy tickets now to secure your seats. Swoop!
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Johnson, founder of Hearts for Minds. Thanks to the players for helping us break the stigma of mental illness and connect people to life-changing resources in our community. It's 40 days until the Players' Championship.
New Year's resolutions. But let's be honest, by February, that gym membership is just a $50 a month guilt trip.
So why not take that cash and finally fix your leaky faucet, unclog that drain, or tune up your AC?
Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning has your back. Start the year fresh. No leaks, no clogs, no excuses.
It's a resolution you'll actually keep.
Call Duck Rooter at 904-862-6769 today. Because when you're stuck, call the Duck. Right now, get $50 off any service of $150 or more.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then, strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
I'm Max Fink, here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. Exciting news for Jaguars fans as head coach Liam Coen will be speaking at a free fan event at EverBank Stadium tonight, January 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. The festivities will feature a live panel discussion with Coach Coen and appearances from Tony Boselli, the Drumline, and Jackson DeVille. Fans can also enjoy 40% off concessions and 25% off Fanatics merchandise at the Gallagher Club West Pro Shop. The event is free and open to the general public, but tickets must be claimed for entrance. To claim tickets, visit jaguars.com/Coach Coen. So come on, Duval, give your new head coach and his family a warm welcome and enjoy a chance to spend some off-season time at the bank and get pumped up for the 2025 season. It's 67 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
Hey, we thank our friends from Stanley Pools. They do a fantastic job. They service our pool as well. They've built our pool a couple times. So you want a pool, the best in the business, our friends from Stanley Pools. Frank Frangie, Hays Carlyon. Did you ever think the mayor of London would be from central Birmingham?
I did not.
That doesn't happen, does it?
I saw this guy in Trafalgar Square in 2013. 250,000 people showed up to see JP Shadrick.
It was only 40, okay?
A quarter of a million people, Tom, showed up to see JP Shadrick.
Woodstock.
It was incredible.
Remember a couple years ago when they said Mayor Deegan's meeting the mayor of London? I said, she didn't already know JP? I'm surprised by that. JP Shadrick.
What's up, guys? How are you doing? You got a pool, I got a pond.
Yeah,
so that's fine.
Natural spring.
How are you, man? How are you?
Good. It's fine. It's a lot going on the last week or so around here with the new head coach coming in, and we're going to get a chance, obviously, tonight for this event to get in front of the fans for the first time. And we've got a sit-down coming up on Jaguars.com. We're going to record here in about an hour or so. Yep. So, excited to get some things moving this offseason finally. It's been a little bit of a slow, it feels a little slow, but they had to get it right.
Yeah, and I think they did. To give people an idea that are coming, because you're going to have a good crowd tonight. You'll be emceeing the whole thing. Give people an idea of kind of what it's going to be like.
Well, we're going to get some answers out of Tony Boselli.
Good.
Okay? I've had enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had enough.
This guy and his role or whatever it's going to be. No, we're going to talk to Tony tonight. He'll be on stage with me for a little bit. We'll bring the head coach up as well, Liam Coen. Roar, the Jaguars will be here. Jacksonville, of course, will be here. The D-line. And then we'll build up to the final hour where we have the stage program, and it'll be a fantastic show tonight. We're actually on the 50-yard line, the stage is, so everybody will be seated in the West Gallagher Club, so it's a perfect night for it. You got a sunset view from inside the club where we sit right now, so it's a real opportunity, and there's some submitted questions from some season ticket holders we're going to get in as well tonight, and see what kind of personality this head coach has to offer.
What were your takeaways, a couple of them, from Monday's press conference with Liam Coen?
Well, I mean, everybody's all about the DUUUVAL thing, right? But, I think that was fine. It was just a funny story about that, right? And we'll get to the other stuff. We had a staff meeting at like noon that day, and we're in the hallway, and I said hello, and hey, by the way, we're going to do this at the end, the social media, you know how it is. Yeah, it's all for the gram now. You got to do it for Instagram. Hey, well, first DUUUVAL. Okay, cool, great. Taught him how to do it. He did it great. Went on stage, did it perfect. 3 hours later, goes rogue in the press conference. I don't know what happened. So we'll see what we get out of him tonight.
Do you give him the benefit of the doubt that it was like midway through a very long opening statement?
Yes,
and so
he's
it wasn't
nervous.
like
He's excited. He's from Rhode Island. He doesn't know. Right. It's fine. He's 39 years. It's fine.
Yeah. DUUUVAL might not be big in Rhode Island. You never know.
If that's the worst thing that happens.
Right.
I loved all the other stuff that we heard.
I think tonight he's going to break your speakers. Would be my guess.
Players over plays. The offensive line comment where you break the huddle and that's the first thing the defense sees. I loved that part of it. And when he started pointing out to players, it's all about these guys, and it's a player's game. And those are just a few of the things that stood out to me with him. And I'm curious how long it takes for a guy like this in his first head coaching role to earn the trust of that locker room, because it just kind of felt like at times that slipped away in the last year or so. And how do you do that? Well, you establish a culture and you get down there and figure it out. And that's what he has to do. He's got a little bit of time to do it, but we'll find out pretty quick, I think, if he has that locker room or not.
JP, I asked John this, Johnny O, and I'll ask you too. I do sense when you get a new coach and a new GM, and you kind of need to refine your energy a little bit, to your point, it's a bit of a reset. It feels like a positive reset. Now, look, every time you hire a new coach, everybody's excited. I get that. That's not new. But it feels pretty, and I know it's
you're
early.
the Cowboys.
Yeah, right. But it feels genuine, doesn't it? It feels like there's a real reset that people are excited about around here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. The coach is gone, and then the GM's gone. That's about as clean of a reset as you can get.
Yeah.
So you start with those two, and that's where it all begins, with the reset. And then you got Doug Peterson has been around the NFL for a long, long time as a player, as a coach. Liam Coen hasn't, right? In the grand scheme of things, he's been a quick riser, and it's just a different mindset and mentality, I think, which will be exciting to see how he adapts to this role for the first time in front of the entire team. That's the fun part of it. We'll see what happens on the GM side and the personnel side down the road and what happens there with the other part of the leadership. But that's about as fresh of a reset as you're going to get in the NFL, because when the GM goes, everybody else stays, at least through the draft. So they're on kind of different timetables. So, this is, it's the first full reset since Gus and Dave, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
First aligned reset since then.
Yeah.
2012.
It's been a while.
Yeah, without a doubt.
2013.
What do you think should be some priorities for Liam Coen and his team when they start looking at the roster and where they need to improve it?
Well, he said it the other day, the big people up the middle, both offensive and the defensive line. Just the middle of this entire defense faltered last year, from the D tackles to linebacker play being inconsistent at times, and God knows we know about the safety play last year. That was awful at moments. So they've got to fix that at the middle of the defense. And it's like that in baseball too, right? If you're good up the middle, you got a pretty good team. If you're bad up the middle, you're going to have some issues. It's the same on defense too, and they had that problem. Big people in the O-line. What's the future at center and right guard with these veteran players who, how much more do they have left in the tank? You got to figure out a plan. There's no real developmental players on the roster right now. The ones that have a significant knee injury. Who knows if he's going to be ready for camp? And so that's a priority for me is the big guys. Once you get that done, you can go work around everything else.
You have a feeling about the coordinators? I know we don't know any of them.
I have no idea.
But you know the names?
I know
he's
like,
put it out?
He's not wasting any time.
He's not, is
He's rolling through these interviews all hours of the day. It looks like all these notifications pop up. I'm sitting at home watching TV. He's over here.
Right.
That's his job. That's what he's supposed to do. So that's a good sign. At least he's in there doing it. It feels like there might be some traction fairly quick on both the coordinators the next couple days maybe.
It does feel that way, doesn't it?
And then you move along.
Yeah, without a doubt. And in terms of looking at what do you think he'll do with the running backs, with Etienne and Bigsby after the success he had in Tampa Bay?
Well, Travis, is getting paid $6.2 next year in his fifth year? He's in play.
Big money.
He's going to get the ball.
That's right.
Somebody, he's going to be on the field. I don't know if he's going to get the ball, but he's going to be out there some. And what's the confidence level in Tank? He's got to go prove it to a new head coach and a new staff. He put it on the deck a little bit last year, but this group wasn't here. So can he, in camp in the offseason, prove that he can hang on to it and be that explosive player that we saw early in the season? I think they both have a role. I was talking to somebody earlier downstairs. Are there packages where they're both on the field at the same time and all these? I think everything's in play. Like if that's the best situation where you can get both running backs on the field for some reason and you're putting them in different directions, whatever that is. I'm not an offensive
He could do that with tight end, too.
Look at the Chiefs do that, right?
Yeah.
They did that last week. We put two guys on each side of Patrick and then the running back behind, and they scored 2 touchdowns off that play because of the design they held all season long and didn't pull out until the championship game. That's the kind of mindset and operation and coaching that we haven't had around here in a while.
What are your expectations for Trevor under Liam Coen? What do you it'd be? He's been typically quarterbacks, and you know this. Years 5 through 9 are the golden years for any of them. I mean, he's been through year 2, 3, and 4. We kept talking about Ben Johnson, Liam Coen. Well, Ben Johnson's getting a guy. He's about to get years 2, 3, 4, which we just saw. Liam Cohen's about to get years 5 through 8. What are your expectations?
I think it's getting back to what Trevor does a little more comfortably, and it might be some of that read option stuff we saw earlier in his career. I'd rather not see him dive head first anymore.
Right.
I mean, that's what hurt his shoulder last year. You don't want him running into contact a lot. I'm not saying all the time, but some of that kind of stuff needs to still be involved in it, and Trevor will be the one to be in that room to tell him what he's most comfortable with. And can we see him push the ball down the middle of the field? We've been begging for that for years. And either it's a confidence issue in the line or some hesitation or who's running the routes or running the wrong routes at moments down the field. Hint, hint, the guy in Tennessee right now. Whatever that is, if you can get past that hang-up and get him to a spot where he can push the ball down the middle of the field against the defense, because he has the arm to do it. We just haven't been able to consistently see him do that.
What do you think about Liam Coen retaining special teams coordinator Heath Farwell?
I love it, man. I mean, you get 3 years with Pro Bowlers and all pro guys at specialist spots. That was an easy slam dunk. I mean, that's why it happened like on the first day, Hey, come in my office. All right, you're here. Go back to your office now. You're fine.
That's right.
Get to work.
Get back over there. Figure it out.
But there's a lot of coaches that may not, particularly young coaches, that may not have the confidence. They may just want to say everything's got to be, all the coaches gone. I want all my new guys. And I thought it was pretty cool that he was like, no, this guy's phenomenal.
Production matters, right? And they're producing at a high level in the punting game, and the coverage game, and the field goal kicking game, everything you want. And it's one less thing to worry about as a new head coach. You can, and now in a year or two's time, if something happens and you can make that change another time. But why add to the list of things you already have to do? It's already very long.
All right. You look down there, Hays. See that line?
Oh, here we go.
You know what that is? That's the Shadrick posse.
That's
That's the Shadrick loyalists. Look at that. I mean, this place is. Look at all the people lining up to get in this place. Okay.
Make sure JP doesn't go to the window.
Yeah.
Because if they see him,
are they tailgating?
That they may break through the gate.
He's going to sprain his wrist signing so many autographs. Look at this down here.
No. I have nothing to do with this. Is the Frangie effect,
These fans are so.
Are we?
Yeah. I mean, these fans. You have to tip your hat to them.
This really is. Look at that. We can already see the crowd forming. This can be a cool thing. Going to the British Open. What are we doing this summer?
I mean, it's still January, Frank.
What are you doing?
We're doing next week.
I'm envious.
You want me to translate that? Yes, I'm going to the British Open. Okay,
right.
There's your translation for that. So, been to the last two, right?
I have, yeah.
And word on the street is my operatives say you have tickets already for this year.
Yeah, that's because I said that in the office.
Yes, you did.
On the thing. Your operative is sitting right here. Saturday, and then it's in Northern Ireland. I guess. Yeah, I got to figure out the trip. It's still a little early.
Yeah, okay.
Any big concerts coming up?
Nothing really.
He's going to see Derek and Susan for the 413th time.
Probably
so you got to do that.
I am going to the Dickie Betts Memorial Concert in Macon.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Right after the Combine.
That's actually really cool.
Small theater there in Macon. That'll be fantastic.
That's very, very cool.
Looking forward to that.
JP Shadrick from Jaguars.com does a fantastic job. He'll be leading the show tonight, so be fun to watch. JP, thanks, buddy.
All right, guys, have a good one, and let me know when you want to send the pool guys over to the house.
I will do it. I'll do it. I know where you live. We'll do that. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines on the other side. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show
From the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010XL's Dan Hicken dominated Folio Weekly's Best of 2024. Best TV sports anchor, Dan Hicken. Best radio sports anchor, Dan Hicken. Best radio sports show starring Dan Hicken. 1010XL, the home of Dan Hicken.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. Find your New Year's stride with MyBookie. Take advantage of their live betting, especially if a heavy favorite gets off to a slow start. And check out their cool prop bets. If you haven't signed up, go to mybookie.ag and register for a free account. Use promo code 1010XL to get a 50% bump on your first deposit. For a limited time, MyBookie will add 50% to your initial deposit. Let's take a look at some updated MyBookie lines. The Chiefs are a 1.5-point favorite in the big game over the Eagles at the Superdome. The over-under is 49.5 points. There are also great player props that you've got to check out. Sign up with that promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit bonus. Again, it's a 50% bonus. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
After consulting with several orthopedic specialists about my constant knee pain, I chose Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and Dr. Chris Swanson to handle my surgery. Their professionalism let me know this team was the one for me. The surgery was very successful, and if I ever have a future need, I'll continue to trust Southeast Orthopedic Specialist to take care of me.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Yo, E.T. here, and don't let Valentine's Day sneak up on you. Plan the perfect romantic getaway in Clay County. Stay at one of Clay's beautiful Airbnbs or in luxury at Club Continental, a boutique riverfront retreat, and treat your special someone to an unforgettable dinner at the Hilltop Restaurant. Trust me on this one. Clay County is the perfect spot for romance. Start planning today at exploreclay.com and tag those romantic moments with hashtag ExploreClay.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
The Jacksonville Icemen are back at home this Friday night as they battle the Savannah Ghost Pirates in a big South Division clash in downtown Jacks. Friday is Retro Night as we rewinded back to the 1990s with theme music, promotions, and videos. So wear your 90s attire. Game time is set for 7 at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Tickets available on Ticketmaster or by calling 904-602-HUCK. Iceman Hockey is hashtag Frozen Frenzy.
4 years of dreams, dedication, and desires deliver us to this day. Catch Decision Day for college sports future stars next Wednesday. Opened by Baker Glass. No one treats you better on 1010XL.
This is Burton Cummings, the voice of a generation. Burton Cummings, 60th Anniversary Hits Tour. February 5th at Florida Theater. These eyes. With special guest, Jim Messina. Burton Cummings and his band. 60th Anniversary Hits Tour. Tickets on sale now at floridatheater.com.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a walk-in closet that's not only beautiful, but also incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 800-293-3744. Hey, and if you mention Mia or Helmets and Heels, you'll qualify for free base molding. Call today or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Denny Thompson here. Tyson Sound and Security has a huge prize sweepstakes now through the big game. I'm talking a 75-inch loaded Samsung TV with 3D surround sound, a sound bar with wireless subwoofer, and installation is included. Stop by the new showroom, check out the setup, and drop your name in the box for your chance to win the $2,500 prize now through February 9th. Tyson Sound and Security now at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming, Iowa.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro-Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at projaxroofingfl.com.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hays' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hays Carlyon.
All right, welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here. Dylan Denmark at World Headquarters. Tom Champion helping us out here. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, we are here at the stadium. Fans are lined up. A Jaguars fan event getting ready to start in about 40 minutes. Should be a lot of fun.
Look at that line. We're in the club, and we're looking outside of this line, waiting to get in. I'm not kidding you. It's going halfway to the arena or halfway to the baseball park. I mean, look at that. So Jaguar fans are great fans. They love their Jags. They've been through an awful lot. They deserve better, as Shad Khan said at his presser. And I tell you what, I respect Jag fan, man. I mean, you go, particularly when things are going well, you go on the road, and the way remember the New Orleans a couple years ago, and Jag fan rock Nashville, and they're loaded up here. So good for you, Jag fan. It is Coach Coen's first DUUUVAL. That's what they're calling it. It's a pep rally. The D-line's going to be here. The cheerleaders are going to be here. Tony Baselli is going to be on stage for a bit with JP Shadrick. You just heard JP talking about that. This is good stuff, man, and a great crowd here, and I'm glad they're all here.
Absolutely, and again, not too late. Just go to Jaguars.com and register for your free ticket, and you will be all set, and there's going to be a great party here. JP was kind of give us some itinerary there. So it sounds like a great party for an hour, and then sort of the program gets going. Should be a lot of fun. Let's get it to around the NFL. Las Vegas is bringing back Patrick Graham as defensive coordinator. So the Raiders and Pete Carroll able to retain Patrick Graham, who was already the Raiders' DC last year.
Good football coach. I certainly interviewed to come here. He's one of the candidates here, but he's a good football coach. He's a respected coach. All those years in New England, probably where he got his acclaim, but he's been other places, and he's put his own brand on it. And Pete Carroll recognizes a good defensive coach when he sees one. Hayes, not surprised by it. He'll do a good job.
New Chicago Bears coach Ben Johnson knows great offensive football, and that was evident by his hiring of former Jaguars OC Press Taylor to be passing game coordinator with the Bears.
Let me tell you the reality of that, and no one wants to hear this, and all those Jaguar fans I just raved about out there want to come punch me when I say this. But he's a good football coach, and he's regarded as a good football coach. Look, it didn't work out here. It didn't work out here, and he's not here anymore, and neither is Doug, and they move on, and things didn't go well. We all know that, and I'm not saying he did some great job. But I will tell you, I know enough people around the league that Press Taylor is a respected football coach, and hopefully he does well up there.
Yes, absolutely. Let's get it to the Super Bowl. If Patrick Mahomes three-peats and wins his 4th overall title against the Eagles, do you start to consider him greater than even Tom Brady? Mahomes would be 18-3 lifetime in the playoffs with a win. Brady has 7 world titles and was 35-13 in his postseason career.
I don't know. He's not ready to be better than Brady. Brady has 35 postseason wins. He'll have 18 to your point. But boy, is he good. You know, you don't have to be
18-3 in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's amazing. You don't have to be compared to Babe Ruth to be a good hitter. Okay, there's a lot of great hitters that weren't Babe Ruth. There's a lot of great quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes is really good. He's good. He's a great passer. He's a great runner when he needs to. He's a good player, a good leader, a winner. That's what Brady was, a winner, and this guy's a winner. Here's the thing. He can get to that 35.
Without a doubt.
I haven't seen his. I think he's like 19. So he's right. It feels like
he's 29 years old. He's a maniac. So he'll probably play until he's 45.
Right. He's 29. Brady played well into his 40s. He can get there. So ask me that question in about 5 years. But yeah, he's he's remarkable. There's no question.
I mean, I think in 5 years, honestly, the debate may even be over at that point if this keeps up. I mean, it's incredible. I was really struck by just how gaudy Mahomes' numbers are. So we will see. Bucky Brooks, our good friend, has his first mock draft out on NFL.com. He has the Titans taking Colorado quarterback Shador Sanders with the first pick. The Browns take Penn State edge Abdul Carter at 2, followed by Miami quarterback Cam Ward going 3rd to the Giants. That pushes Travis Hunter to the Patriots at 4. And then Bucky has the Jaguars taking Michigan defensive tackle Mason Graham at 5. Brooks writes that pairing Graham with 2024 second-rounder Mason Smith would give the Jags an intriguing interior tandem with disruptive potential.
He says they're going Mason to Mason?
Mason
Double
to
Mason
Double
squared? There is no doubt in my mind that should be the pick. I know they need a corner. I know ultimately they want another receiver, although you would take it at 5. But it'll probably come down to, if you follow all the mocks and all the conversations, everybody seems to think it's going to come down to corner or D-line. I'm telling you, Hayes, Mason Graham would be my guy. He plays for a tough program. He's 1 year removed from a national title, and the Jags need a defensive tackle in the worst way. I love that pick, and I hope that's the guy they pick.
Big college football news today. ESPN to televise the ACC through 2036.
Yep.
They sort of had an option to either get in or stay in or get out. They elect to stay in. Really should stabilize conference realignment at least for a while.
So the grant of rights now stays. Remember, they could have gotten out by 27, and the grant of rights went away. That grant of rights that we hear so much about because Florida State challenged it, as did Clemson. Well, that thing stays where it is. Yeah, and after all the talk about FSU getting out and Clemson getting out, nobody's going anywhere. I really believe we are now pretty close to what the conference configuration is going to be for a while. Don't you sense that?
I do.
I don't sense that all of a sudden you're going to look up and 2 or 3 teams are going here or there.
I think it ended with the SEC and Big Ten saying we're good. We just expanded. We want to see what our new alignment looks like for the SEC. Obviously 16 for the Big Ten, even more than that. So I think that really prevented an incredible speed bump because if you're FSU and Clemson, it's like, well, where are we going if we get out of the ACC? But certainly ESPN electing to stay in their contract with the conference till 2036 certainly provides a lot of stability. Let's get into college basketball. Gators coach Todd Golden says center Micah Hand-Logden now is unlikely to return this season and will stick to his original plan to redshirt.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. I think he got excited. I think the rehab went well. I think he got physically healthy, but I think there's more to it than physical health. I think there's the emotional part of that injury. It was a bad injury, man. It wasn't just I'm hurt and I'll rehab. The bone was sticking through the leg, Hayes, sticking through the skin. It was terrible, and so don't rush it. I think Micah got excited. I think the Gators got excited. I think Micah went back to Todd Golden and said, Coach, I just don't think I'm ready. And I think Golden said, you know what? This is your call. You're the one that had to go through this. We support you either way. And now I don't think you'll see him. I think Golden probably said, listen, we support whatever you do, but we do have to get to a decision here. And I think that's what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Big SEC game last night. Number 4 Alabama earned an 88-84 road win at number 14 Mississippi State. The Crimson Tide improved to 18-3 overall and 7-1 in SEC play, while the Bulldogs fell to 16-5 and 4-4. Alabama moved up a spot to 6th in the net rankings as the SEC now has 4 of the top 6 with Auburn, Tennessee, Florida, and Bama.
Auburn and Alabama top the world. What sport is this?
I know.
What are we doing? They're both really good, but the league is so good. The league is just so good. It really is.
This might be our last Florida State basketball update for a while, unless they get hot. But the Noles fell behind 35-15 at halftime on their way to a 76-66 loss to Virginia Tech, who really had not been playing well. The Noles are now 13-8 and 4-6 in ACC play. FSU dropped 9 spots in the net to number 82.
Yeah. And look, they made a little run early, but it doesn't look like the bounce back Leonard Hamilton's team was having is real.
Yes, absolutely. Let's get it to the A-Sun. UNF wins a thriller in overtime over Stetson, 101-100 as Nate Litteris scores with 2.8 seconds left. 6 UNF players scored in double figures as the team made 14 threes. UNF improved to 4-5 in ASUN play, while Stetson dropped to 5-4.
And keep an eye on them. I've said that all along. They're better than that record. They're 1 win away from 500. They got a rumble coming up with JU. UNF is they're better than their record. I'm not surprised, and good for them because they let a little lead get away in that game. Got in, and Stetson was able to get it to overtime after UNF looked like they were ahead comfortably. UNF came back and won. Good for the Ospreys.
Heartbreak for JU. Frank, you watched this game as the Dolphins are unable to hold a 24-point second-half lead and losing to Florida Gulf Coast 83-79. JU's 7-game winning streak was snapped as they move back into a tie for first place with Gulf Coast. JU just 8 of 16 from the free throw line. The Dolphins allowed Gulf Coast to shoot 55.2% from the field, including an astounding 64.3% in the second half.
It was one of the most gut-wrenching games I ever saw. Let me give you some numbers. You said JU was 8 of 16 from the free throw line. They started 7 of 8.
Oof.
Okay, they started 7 of 8.
Wow.
So they really struggled down the stretch. It was a gut-wrenching loss. Up 24 in the second half. You knew Gulf Coast was making a run. Up 24, and it got away from them and got away from them. So they're still up 78-71, Hays, with about a minute to play. Up 7 with a minute and some change to play. Gulf Coast has the ball. Ball gets bounced around, loose ball, gets knocked out to a shooter, drills a 3, 78-74. Then the Gulf Coast calls timeout. Minute or so to play. JU inbounds it, immediately turns it over. Guy steals it, lays it up, and gets fouled. So now it's 78-76, right? JU, guy misses the free throw. JU, Zimi Mukeji gets the rebound and gets fouled. Now you're up to going to the line, 40 seconds. Misses both. Stephon Payne from JU gets an offensive rebound on the second, gets fouled. Misses both.
Wow.
So they miss 4 in a row. Gulf Coast comes inbound. JU defends. Ball gets kicked around again, a loose ball. Goes right to a shooter who's wide open, nails the 3. It was one of the most gut-wrenching losses you'll ever have. Now, the good news is it happened in the middle of the season, not in a tournament. But it was one of the most gut-wrenching losses. I'm sitting at courtside. Did you'll ever see a team suffer? Up 24, would have been 8-1 in the league. Now, look, they're still having a wonderful season. They're
Right.
7-2 in the league.
7-2 would have looked pretty good on Christmas Day.
But I will tell you, the Rumble's going to be a good one. 2 terrific teams. I love the Rumble. The only reason I don't love it is I root for both of them, and you can't root for both of them. But the Rumble on Saturday night at JU is going to already sold out. Going to be a fun night in that Arlington campus.
Absolutely. We will get it to some pop culture because on this date, back in 2009, this happened.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you're looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Oh, so good. Taken, released in theaters 16 years ago today.
Love the movie. Love Liam Neeson. And my favorite story about that, he was on, I think it was Fallon. I've told you the story before. He was on Fallon, and he told a great story. His daughter, his real daughter, was going out with a guy. And they all put him up to this. The daughter, their friends, they all put him up to it. You got to leave the guy a voicemail. So he left that voicemail. And the guy, who knows Liam Neeson is, right? He goes, I think he's kidding, right?
Right.
But it's really, hearing him tell the story on Fallon was really funny. I love Liam Neeson. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because here's what's going to happen. He's going to move, another movie's going to come around, and they still haven't learned. They're going to take one of Liam's close people.
Yeah.
It's a mistake.
It is a mistake.
They still, all the people in movies still haven't figured it out.
That's
They
right.
still haven't learned.
Yeah, it was.
I love Taken.
It was a great movie. It was sort of the surprise action hit of that year.
Yeah.
It made $226 million at the box office. spawned 2 sequels and a TV show. So happy anniversary to Taken in that great sound clip.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dylan
Good
Denmark.
call.
We will get you out on our musical nugget of the day. We are doing a local music anniversary like we like to do because on this date, back in 1987, Dylan, you got us? Huey Lewis and the News performed at the Jacksonville Coliseum on this date back in 1987. If you were at that show, tonight marks the 38th year anniversary. This is Power of Love.
Turn that up, Dylan. I want to hear that. You kidding me? Who didn't love Huey Lewis and the News? You kidding me? I wasn't there in 87, okay? I was right there along the river when he came for the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's awesome.
Do you remember that? The Super Bowl, when he came for the Super Bowl in 04, whenever we had the Super Bowl here, all the bands came in. And they had this venue right there on the river. They had a big amphitheater type thing they set up. I'm pointing to it right there. And he was just spectacular. Who doesn't love? If you don't love Huey Lewis, your love's off.
Right.
Your love meter's off. Great work as always. Great work on headlines. Who doesn't love Huey Lewis and the News? We'll be back to wrap the program live from the West Club here at the stadium after this.
Don't take fame. Don't need no credit card to ride this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
NBA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder, the runaway favorite to win the MVP this season. The Thunder have the best record in the NBA. He is minus 350. Nikola Jokic is at plus 200. He has 21 triple-doubles on the season and is a 3-time former MVP. Giannis Antetokounmpo is plus 10,000, and Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics plus 20,000. The Celtics are the betting favorite to win this year's NBA championship, to repeat as winners of the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Boston at plus 200. The Oklahoma City Thunder plus 250. The Cleveland Cavaliers, who have the best record in the Eastern Conference, plus 750. Denver plus 1,200. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Aunt Linda clogged the guest bathroom. Your nephew thought the AC was a snow machine. And let's not even talk about the kitchen sink after that turkey grease incident. Ooh.
Congratulations, your family finally left, but the mess stayed behind.
Don't worry. Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning can fix it all. From backed up pipes to overworked AC units, we've got you covered.
Start the new year fresh, because your house deserves it.
Call Duck Duck Rooter today at 904-862-6769. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Right now, get $50 off any service of $150 or more.
To get this thing unwrapped here. DUUUVAL! Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your DUUUVAL? That's right. Dan, I really identify with Duval. You live in St. John's County, knucklehead. I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up. The boss. Because, of course, oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me. That's just not true. What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it," and said, "A boss for a boss." Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you. Go find yours. They may even make you a boss. I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash. Where more is better. And you got that right.
The Electric Light Orchestra Experience featuring Evil Woman, the American ELO. A concert celebration featuring the music of Electric Light Orchestra. It's February 5th at Jacksonville Center for the Performing Arts. Tickets at fscjartistseries.org.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
To catch more fish, you gotta think like a fish. Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services. And awaken 180 weight loss.
Thursday nights at 6.
On 1010XL AM.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it. And send them a Coen floral arrangement. ET here with 1010XL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at CoenFlowers.com.
Hey, DUUUVAL! Are you ready to welcome our new head coach, Liam Coen, to the bank? Join us this Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Gallagher Club West and be among the first to hear directly from Coach Coen. Enjoy a live panel with Coach Coen, appearances from Jaguars legend Tony Vaselli, The Roar, Jackson DeVille, and the D-Line. Tickets are free, but space is limited. Secure your tickets by going to Jaguars.com/Coach Coen today.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Roll with Hard Rock Bet for Big Game 59 because we're rolling out over $5.9 million in bonus bets. The big game kicks off Sunday in New Orleans, but get your share of Big Easy bonus bets now so you can place more bets on us instead of using your own cash. It's the big game rollout. $5.9 million in promos only on Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hey, John, looking for the perfect family ride?
How about taking your family on a luxury ride with the all-new 2024 Cadillac Escalade?
That sounds amazing. If you're a loyal customer, you get $4,000 off. Or if you're new to Randy Marion, you can get a $3,000 Conquest discount.
And don't forget the 5% savings on retired courtesy transportation vehicles.
You can save over $10,000 on select 2024 Escalades.
Experience the luxury and comfort at Randy Marion Cadillac.
Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
Plus tax tag title $899 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, where have we been today in the program? Well, we've had some Jaguar folks come by. Our friend Johnny O stopped by, John Ozier from Jaguars.com. Talked all about his thoughts about the coach, where he thinks this thing's headed, kind of a rebirth and a reset, if you will. And it was great to have John stop by and talk Jaguars football later on. JP Shadrick, who will be hosting this shindig tonight, stopped by as well and talked a little bit about Jaguars football. We appreciate them stopping by. Hays had headlines. We talked a little bit about the Micah Handlogden story and a whole lot more, but mostly it was an NFL night here, and we're glad you're with us, and that's where we've been today. Do want to remind you, it is the Coach Coen's first DUUUVAL, a pep rally here. A gorgeous night, by the way. What a perfect night for it. And they're going to be all lined up. Look at the fans, Hays. Look at that line.
It's incredible.
I think it goes to Folkestone. I think that all the way to Folkestone is where I think that line
Unbelievable fan base.
And it's going to be fantastic. You can still get here now. Just go to Jaguars.com. You can register. You got to get a free ticket if you do. It doesn't cost a thing. And you come here and be part of the pep rally and meet the coach. And that's how good Jaguar fans are. Look at that crowd out there. I mean,
it's
it really is a big crowd waiting to get in here 40% off concessions, good discounts on that pro shop. Look at some of that gear over there, Hayes. We're here in the West Club, so we can see the concessions getting ready to heat up. We can see that pro shop. They have nice gear here, too. We're live in the club, and we're glad you are with us as we kind of wind it down a little bit. And before we get out here, we'll send it over to Rick Ballou. I don't want to be remiss in this. We've had so much Jaguar stuff to talk about. We haven't been able to bring up the tragedy that was the American Airlines flight that collided with an Army helicopter near Washington, D.C., near the airport there. 60 passengers on the American Airlines flight, plus a crew of 4, crew of 3 on the Army helicopter, all lost, it's feared. What a horrible, horrible tragedy. And we're blessed, so blessed that stuff like that doesn't happen very often. But what a terrible tragedy near the nation's capital.
Absolutely, just heart-wrenching, and particularly since they were almost to the ground. You know, they were on their descent.
Yeah.
And to have that happen, you know, so close to your destination, it's just, obviously, it's just, you just think of the horror of that experience. And yes, it's, you know, obviously we've seen it in sports today with how it's affected the figure skating community.
Yeah, 14 members of the skating community, the Philadelphia Skating Club, spoke out about that they were in. It's just a sad story.
It really is, and it does make you thankful that, you know, fortunately it doesn't happen. You would think with the millions of flights, you know, every year that this would be more of a common occurrence, but fortunately it is not. And it's just awful. Just awful story.
And you're right. And prayers, certainly prayers. My prayers, our prayers, for the people involved, those lost, and the families of those wonderful people as well. So we certainly we're very sad for what happened with the folks in American Airlines. All right, we are almost out of time here. Got a band playing now. The band is playing in the club here. So we got music in here. The drum line will be playing outside. The D line, I should say. This is so much good stuff. And again, I love the rebirth. I love the way they kind of reset. The Jags have sort of reset a little bit, and that excites me. I think that excites people that are here. Hayes, this is, and I know everybody that has a new coach gets excited, but we haven't even had a general manager or a coordinator named yet. And come on down here and party with these Jaguar folks. And it's kicking off the offseason the right way. It's exciting stuff. It really, really is. And I'm excited. And I said, Doug Peterson's my friend. I was a Doug Peterson guy, rooted for him so hard. But there's a new coach. There's going to be a new GM. There's going to be new coordinators. There's a new energy, and I'm so excited to be a Jaguar fan, to be blessed to be involved in the Jaguar broadcast, and to see these people. I'm honest to God, this really excites me when I look down there and see those folks.
Absolutely. I mean, we have not seen this kind of a new vision of Jaguars football since 2013, when Shad Khan, as a very young owner, in his stewardship here, hired Gus Bradley as coach and Dave Caldwell as
together.
GM. But that was different because you knew they had a long way to go.
That's right.
Like, you know, they had the second pick that year. They had the least amount of talent in the NFL, and then stripped it down even more to really be able to create a whole new rebuild. And unfortunately, it didn't go the way that everybody had hoped. But this is different because it's a new version of Jaguars football. But there's an absolute belief among us, I think among the fans, among a lot of national media, that they can get right back to winning ways. I mean, again, we've documented it. The division is terrible. You've got your quarterback. You've got some really good pieces around the quarterback, players that have gotten to second contracts. That didn't exist in 2013.
Right.
So you had a new vision of a GM and a new coach perfectly in alignment, starting something, but everybody knew they were having to build the entire house. Liam Coen and all the new arrivals, you're coming into a house that needs some work, but there's some good bones to it, and it is not a massive rebuild here at all. This is tweak a couple of things, and you should be able to get right back into the conversation of winning the AFC South.
Yeah, and again, quarterbacks, it has historically been proven. There's some exceptions, but quarterbacks, for the most part, are at their best years 5 through 10. Before that, they got to find their way. After that, they tend to get a little older. The Russell Wilsons of the world aren't what they were 8 years ago. And there's some that are good even after year 10. I know that. But quarterbacks' heyday is years 5 through 10, and Trevor is about to begin that. That's how Liam Coen kind of won the lottery. He got this head coaching job when his quarterback, listen, Ben Johnson might be fine, maybe very good in Chicago, but he's getting a quarterback starting his second year, Hays, not starting his fifth year. Liam Coen gets Trevor Lawrence, a wonderful player, a wonderful kid, a wonderful worker, and he gets him as he gets set to start year number 5. Great times ahead, or certainly possibly ahead.
Without a doubt. And Trevor Lawrence can relay to Liam Coen the experiences that he's had, the successes, the failures. It's going to be easier for Trevor, I think, to get in sync with Liam early. And I think it also helps. Look, if you're Trevor Lawrence, I mean, you hate to say this is your last coach, this is your last strike, but it's hard to envision, like, where will Trevor Lawrence's place in the organization be if Liam Coen doesn't work out in 2 or 3 years down the road? Like, yes, the extension, that will have kicked in. So it's not only that this should be the prime of Trevor's career, there's also got to be a sense of urgency in Trevor. I mean, look, he's very open about it. They haven't won to the level that he was hoping to win when he arrived here. And part of that's a dismal rookie season because of Urban Meyer and the dysfunction that all was encompassing with that. But yeah, I think that there is also an inner drive in Trevor Lawrence and a recognition of, look, it's time. It is time to harness this skill and become one of the best players in the league. And I think Liam Coen and Trevor Lawrence, it's going to be a beautiful partnership.
Bands are cranked up here. We're ready to go. Let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
Rick, they're packing the house in here. They got a lot of fans here that want to celebrate this new coach. Kind of a cool thing. Do we have Rick? Do we not have Rick?
Got me now. There you go. Yeah, the fan base.
There you go. All right, Rick. Rick, celebration time for these Jaguars. I'm excited about it. I bet you are too.
They forgive and forget pretty quick, and that is obvious. And I think despite the national media and some of their just pompous remarks, locally they're fired up about Liam Coen, and we'll see. What you hope happens is that you begin to take this thing to the next level, because it's getting tiring every 3 years having an introductory, bringing in a new coach and what have you. And, the fans are excited about this. So should make for a pretty good event out there where you guys are at, and have a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I agree with you, Rick. I think you said it exactly right. Who cares what the national folks say? Hey, what's coming up on your show tonight, my man?
Well, I got my picks, and I've given this a lot of thought. And, of course, we had a major elimination yesterday. Came in last night with Patrick Graham, staying with the Raiders. But I think I'll go a little sideways here with my offensive coordinator selection, my defensive coordinator pick as well. So we're going to get that out right at the beginning of the program. Got a few other things we'll dive into as well. Really looking forward to the next couple hours.
All right, Rick Beluga's into the night. Be listening. He's going to do a fantastic job. He always does. All right, we're out of here. But I will tell you, you still can come out here. It's not too late. Jaguars.com. Get your free, I said it again, free ticket. And this pep rally. I mean, they're packing. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
There's a line coming from the river, it looks like. I'm not making this up over there. You can see it that way. So.
And don't feel like, I can't get there at 6. I'm going to miss Liam Coen. That's later in the night. That's closer to the 7:30, 8 o'clock window. If you can get here by then, you're going to see Coach.
Great point. That's a great point. Even if you're not here, I missed it. You didn't miss it. Come here now. It's going to be a fun night as Liam Coen speaks to all the fans. Folks, that'll do to our program. Don't go anywhere. Rick Ballou is next. Dylan, nice work back at World Headquarters. We'll see you tomorrow back from the studio. Same bat time, same bat channel. For Dylan, filling in for JJ and Hays Carlyon, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Herald and Herald.